Hello all and welcome to another episode of the FIFA 23 Career Mode here with Derby County. I hope that you're all doing very well. We're doing very well as well. 35 games played in the league and we're currently opening up a little bit of a gap between us and the other teams chasing the playoffs. As I said last time out, we're only 4 points off of Burnley and Leeds who are fighting for that second automatic promotion spot. But today we're going to be kicking off the episode against first place Nottingham Forest. Obviously this is a huge derby, is when Forest play Derby. It's always a bit hard when you say Derby when it refers to Derby County for obvious reasons. But yeah, we go away to the City Ground to take on our rivals, and they have a 15-point gap over us. Last time they played us, we got a bit of a tonking. So I'm not feeling 100% confident going into this game. We played the usual lineup. I have to say, I've been very impressed with Garnacho, who's filling in at the moment for the injured Cadillac. Sibley's moved back into that centre midfield position, and Garnacho is taking over for Sibley. It seemed to actually work quite well towards the last episode, where obviously Cadillac got injured, and we made a really good start as well to this game. As you can tell here, Jimenez on the ball, plays it down the left, finding Sibley, who plays it into the main man, Kenneth Brenner, and on his weaker foot absolutely lashes it into the back of the net, and the celebrations were rife. This was only after 17 minutes, and it had been a pretty even game up until that point, and it continued to be all the way throughout. I won't lie, overall, this game was a little bit dull, it's safe to say. There wasn't that much in the way of highlights, which is why I'm obviously really focusing on the goal, because I've not got a lot of other things to really fill out the rest of this little section of the episode. You can tell I'm really happy with it there, and Brenner getting his, I think it was his 27th goal in that game, and I have to say, is he signing of the series? Potentially. When you look at the level that we're playing at and how well he's done, he's basically carried us towards this playoff level, along with his partner in crime Chamiti. Those two have been absolutely fundamental in why we've gotten as far as we have done in this campaign. We did really well to kind of stop Forest from playing. There was a lot of really good defending in this game, and I was relatively impressed, because we all know it's not my strong suit, and I just kept trying to catch him on the counter with really quick transitions. Chamiti there hitting the ball just past the post just before the end of the first half, and I kind of thought Forest would really come out firing on all cylinders in the second half, and they did to a degree. They played some good stuff, but we just defended really well. The two centre-backs of Jankovic and Dardai, who I have to say has made a massive difference since coming in, they did really well, along with Blake Daniels, who made that was the only real save he had to make. They had 6 shots in total, did Nottingham Forest, but only one of them was really on target. The rest were either blocked or gone wide and not really worth showing. So we actually walk away with a really big 1-0 win. I didn't have an attack in the second half. I basically just let them have the ball and said, come on then, try it and break me down. It's not normally my way of approaching the game, but that is how I decided to kind of go about it. Very similar to the Leeds game, which we drew 0-0 as well. It's weird that we can keep clean sheets against Forest and Leeds, but not against anybody else in the league. Maybe since Dardai's come in, it's made a massive difference. I don't know. After that, we took on kind of playoff chasing Preston, looking to put a bit more of a gap to him. It was also my 100th match in charge. I'm pretty sure that's including friendlies, because by my math, there's no way I've managed 100 games for Derby. But hey ho, what do I know? We made a really good start there. You could tell after about 3 minutes we really should be ahead. I was a bit surprised that Brennan missed that chance. It's like bread and butter for him, but hey ho. I was hoping that we would just obviously be able to carry on the way that we were playing, but I got the feeling at the start it was one of those days. You can tell they're a bit of a goalmouth scramble and the ball still won't go in. How the goalie saved from Chamiti that close in, I have absolutely no idea. And Preston weren't without their threat as well. They went up the other end, and just before the half an hour mark here, they played some lovely kind of like passing 1-2 football, and Ben Woodburn, who signed for them in January, gets his first goal for the club. Of course he does. Just before that half an hour mark. It was really well worked. You could tell they just got the overload in the middle. My defence couldn't shift across quick enough to kind of block the ball out, and Blake Daniels had no chance. It's a really decent finish. Fortunately, like I said, we've had this habit so far this season of when we go behind, we tend to react very well, and it's good because we go behind quite a lot. Sibley plays a really lovely ball here, free to Brenner, and he won't make the same mistake twice. He finishes this one, lovely one into the far corner to tie up at 1-1. I was delighted really to kind of get back into that. I don't know what it is, but I think we've got some really good resolve in the team, which I'm really enjoying. It seems like we kind of have to go behind before we start playing, which is not a habit I want to get into. I don't want to be very sort of Spursy and Liverpool about it. we started the second half pretty much as we played through the first, with Chimiti really testing the goalkeeper there. But we didn't have that much in the way of clear-cut chances until that one, which was on the 72nd minute. And then after that, we managed to win the ball from a free kick from Preston. And Anderson, who I have been quite impressed with, I have to say, makes a really good run, beats his man, lays it into Brenner. And, of course, he's not going to miss again. Kenneth Brenner gets a brace today. He was absolutely on fire in this episode, as a heads up. Just an absolute beast. And I could not recommend a player more. If you're looking for a guy who's relatively cheap and affordable, and you can get him in a kind of lower league save or a kind of lower Premier League team or high Championship team, get him, because he's absolutely insane. His finishing is so good. Blake Daniels there saving us a little bit at the end. There were saves I'd expect him to make, but that's really the only threat Preston offered apart from that shot they had in the first half. Like you said there, we had 9 shots, half of them came in the goalmouth scramble, and we managed to get through and get another big 3 points. So we're playing very well at the moment. I believe it's an unbeaten run around about 5 games or so. Very, very impressive, and hopefully we can continue that against Cardiff. We had 2 games in the space of a week against Cardiff, and then after that we were at home to Blackburn Rovers. We played 3 home games today, so Pride Park is really the host of all the action, and this is exactly the sort of start I wanted to make as Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro. I can't believe the United fans haven't made that chant yet. They really should. Isn't it? Was it Lady Gaga who sang that? I think it might have been. I'm kind of monologuing a bit here. But it's a great... it's just a good bit of football, to be fair. Lovely tee up by Brenner. If he's not scoring, he's assisting. And Garnacho gets his 3rd goal of the season with a lovely finish into the roof of the net. I have to say, Cardiff were no match for us in this game. Like, at all, really. We battered them from start to finish. And I was delighted with some of the football that was on the show. You can tell here, there's lovely sort of like first-time passing. There's runs everywhere as Jimenez teasing a great ball. I can't believe the goalkeeper saved that. I've been trying to kind of get more into the crosses to try and sort of score a few more headers and just get a bit more variety in the goals, but I have to say that when that happens, you kind of lose the faith that you're going to be able to get anywhere, because it was a brilliant save, as was that as well, to deny Alejandro Garnacho again. Cardiff had a couple of moments in the game. There's one here from O'Dowda and he hits it at Blake Daniels, but ultimately they were no match really for us. I have to say that the growth of Blake Daniels since he first came in and had that rather disastrous debut where I think he conceded 4, he's been absolutely brilliant since. And it's not often I say that about a goalkeeper on FIFA, but he has been absolutely magnificent. It's just something about goalkeepers when I say magnificent. What about that for a save as well from the Cardiff goalkeeper? I was really gutted we weren't more than 1-0 up when half-time came around, because we really should have been 3 or 4 up, to be honest. But there's only one man for the occasion. Brenner gets his 2nd. Lovely tee in, and from a tight angle, just hits it across the goalkeeper. It's a masterful finish. And that kind of really put the game to bed to me. I couldn't see us conceding 2 to kind of drop any more points after that. But, you know, I just wish that we'd started the season a bit like this. I mean, what about that for, say, for Blake Daniels? But I just wish we'd started the season like this. It's good that we're kind of getting better now towards the end of the season. You know, we're kind of timing the run right. But I just wonder if we've left ourselves a little bit too much to do in terms of catching up with the teams above us. And especially if we had any aspirations of winning the Championship, it's going to be way too late to catch up with Nottingham Forest. You know, we're 15 points behind. Timing is everything, and you know, in real football, they always say to you that, you know, you really want to be hitting form by the end of the season and win your last few matches of the season, because that's when other teams are going to get tired and are going to start to make mistakes. And I go along with that, but I just wish we were like this offensively good and this defensively good more than anything. Defensively, I think that's where the real improvements come, and well, I say that as they hit the post there in like the last minute. We won 5-0. It was really, really impressive, and it's pretty much one of the more kind of polished performances, apart from a couple of saves from Blake Daniels and that shot against the post. You know, Cardiff didn't really do much. We absolutely dominated there. You can tell 16 shots to 5, 54% possession. Just a really, really good performance. I was hoping to replicate that against Blackburn. The clean sheets are the key here. We suddenly start becoming a lot more defensively solid. We're a lot harder to break down. We're a lot harder to score against. And I think Dada has made a massive difference at the back with that, as has the kind of, as I said earlier, the growth of Blake Daniels has turned us into a much more different outfit, and we're so much more difficult to score against. From the resulting corner from that chance they had, by the way, Chimiti plays in Brenner. What about that for a finish? Henry-esque, that is. And I don't say that lightly because Thierry Henry is literally one of my favourite ever footballers. But that is Thierry Henry-esque. The setting it outside the post and it just bending in that left channel. It's such a great goal. It's such a lovely finish. I don't know why. I just really enjoy finishes like that. And you can tell this man is on fire now. 31 goals in 37 games. He's turned up pretty much all season, but he's really hit form just when I need him to as well. I could not be happier. I couldn't be happier with this man. He is definitely surprise signing of the season, his use of Chimiti. This is a wonderful strike. He just kind of controls it, drops it down, then just sort of almost toe punts it into the back of the net. It's as straight as an arrow. It's a wonderful finish. And Blackburn did come back into the game slightly here. There's a brilliant save by Blake Daniels again. I've included a lot more Blake Daniels highlights in this because he made some really impressive saves. And more importantly, I just wanted to show how much he's kind of come on and developed. However, he didn't have much chance with this one. The guy had a chance to set himself and hit it in, Bradley Dack, who I think is a very underrated footballer. He has fabulous hair as well. And he managed to make it 2-1, which made it a little bit more interesting than I kind of wanted it to be. I wanted this to be a nice kind of comfortable win and get another clean sheet, just like we did against Cardiff, but not to be. Having said that, though, we've got so much firepower. Chimiti plays Kenneth Brenner in with a lovely ball. He just does not miss. He does not miss. That's another brace for the man from Brazil, and I have to say, value-wise, I don't know. Normally, I would say there's not one player in this team that I wouldn't sell for the right price. Brenner is possibly the only player that I would not sell at any price. At any price, I wouldn't sell him. He's just that fundamental, and he's just that good. And this proves it. It's another hat-trick. It's such a good goal. It's such a good finish. He's such a wonderful player, and you can tell I was really, really happy with that goal because that put the game really ideally to bed. 4-1, absolutely cruising. But, you know, some habits never die. I thought that defensive solidity I'd found was still there. It's not. That's a brilliant finish there from Blackburn. They moved the ball across really, really well. And yeah, I mean, it's something that I'm going to have to learn to sort of do to stop in the Premier League. And that's if we get there. I'm being very presumptuous at the moment that we're going to make it to the Premier League. There's Garnacho teasing Jones, who hits it first time on his left foot, back across the goalkeeper. That was the final goal of the game for a 5-2 win. I was very, very comfortable. But I'm going to need to be defensively more solid in the Premier League if we are going to survive when we get there. I'm hoping that that will be not too soon. You can tell we're making inroads. We're up to third, but we have played a game more than Leeds United and Burnley. We're only now 9 points behind Nottingham Forest with 7 games to go. And in the way that the rest of the season is going to go, I'm going to play one more kind of post-commentary episode next time, and then we'll have the live finale with all 3 final games, with me doing live commentary to end the season. Are we going to get promoted? Are we going to be playing in the playoffs? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. And thank you very much for watching the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like on it, share, subscribe, cheer for the Rams, and until I see you again, stay cool.